think that your mental connection and extra intent with your athletes on the financial side, on the mental side, on their relationship, whatever's going on in their life, do you think that's what took somebody like a Phil Heath, a Nicole Wilkin, Jay? Do you think that's what takes them from good to great, or great to amazing? Like, do you think that's the difference between, because like you said, there's a lot of guys with good genetics, and there's a lot of coaches that help these guys that have great genetics, but there seems to be a different look with your athletes. Why is
it's not the financial aspect, Fuad. What it is, or any of those aspects, it's figuring out the why in that person.
Yeah.
What's their why?
Meaning
why
what?
are they doing this? Like, what is their trigger point? Like, let's talk about like Jay, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned Jay.
Yeah.
Jay in 09, him and I started talking after the Olympia in 08 when he lost to Dexter, because he wanted to try something new because things weren't working out right with Chris and whatever that formula was, or whatever he tried.
Yeah.
It just, he wanted to try something a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So he was triggered. So I was emotionally dialed into what he wanted at the time, which is to prove himself. So he was willing to do things outside of his normal scope of cardio, the diet, all of these things. And I rode him like Zorro, because I knew I could ride that emotional energy and angst into success if he can be able to make sure to cross the T's and dot the I's of the diet, the training, and everything else. He flew to San Jose the week I was supposed to have surgery for my knee finally.
Yeah.
It was the week of my birthday, and it was 10 years later. So going back to the earlier story, I was, and that was 2000, I tore my knee. It was December 2000, I tore my knee. And then in 2009, January, I was supposed to have the knee surgery. Mm-hmm. He says, well, I'm going to come to San Jose to come and train with you. Well, of course, me, Hany Rambod, the trainer, fuck the surgery. I called up, I canceled the surgery. So I didn't get it fixed until like 3 or 4 years later. And then I finally got it fixed. But that was because everybody came first. If I could get a chance to be able to make a difference to that degree, where, again, we were able to make history together. No one's ever lost to Mr. Olympia and was able to win again in the open class. Yeah. And that would happen that year. And he came in with arguably one of the best packages ever. But it was because of that mental fortitude that he created because of what happened with the loss and his slingshot. Because I realized with every person, there's a why. And that why can change too. Yeah. Depending on how long you work with somebody. Okay. Phil is just, as an anomaly, because he went through so much with his dad passing away, going through a divorce, his ex-wife being sick, all of these things that he just didn't focus on. He just said, look, this is life, but I'm still going to continue to train hard. I'm still going to be able to create a physique that is going to be exceptional. And he didn't use that as a crutch or an excuse. And I think the biggest thing that we have in our industry is everybody wants to be the victim.
Okay. How do you mean that?
I think that everybody wants to blame a trainer, or they want to turn around and blame a sponsor, or they want to turn around. They don't like to look in the mirror and say, well, what could I have done different?
Yeah.
And so
I agree with that.
It's like State Farm Insurance. Like a good trainer, State Farm is there. It's like people want to just say it like it's an insurance policy. Let me just talk shit about the trainer, throw the trainer on the bus, go to another trainer. I think it's become a little bit less lately because people are starting to get outed, because at the end of the day, just sometimes personalities don't match up. So I just feel like I lose a lot of respect for people who try to throw the trainer on the bus. I feel like people really need to put a lot of understanding on what they were able to bring to the table. When you look in the mirror, were you able to cross your T's and dot your I's? Were you able to do the cardio? Because I said, oh, I did everything he said. Well, did you really? Yeah. How many people really say, I didn't do everything that I was supposed to do? Yeah. And so I think that's one of the bigger things. So going back to the whole answer of what it is with all of these different competitors, you got to try to figure out what their hot button is and be able to try to really ride the wave, so that you can focus on being able to create that momentum within the prep. And I think that I was able to do that pretty well with the different personalities that I was dealt with. And the other good thing about it also is that I never really focused too much on going after any clients. I always wanted them to come to me, because if they came to me, that was half the battle. Yeah. Because now I know they're willing to listen. Yeah. Now I got to make sure that we can communicate on the right language, in the right language.